It's strange, the way we think about death. The body goes still and then it's just over, right? That's what we're told. But a moment of death, or just before it, isn't so clear. It's more like a door that closes behind you, and you never hear the lock turn. It's the emptiness of an abandoned room that echoes for a while. You'll understand what I mean when I tell you about Heather Dawn Church. She was 15. Her life had been difficult, like so many others, filled with quiet pain that no one really sees. She lived in small, cramped spaces. Her parents were addicts. She was shuffled between foster homes. There were always strangers. Her sense of home fractured. But still at 15, she was full of hope. She had dreams, and she was ready to leave the past behind. That was until the night she stepped into a trap. It started with a man who seemed nice, Ralph Church. He wasn't a stranger exactly. He was a friend of a friend, and he promised her everything she needed to hear. But Ralph Church wasn't a man looking for a friend. He was looking for a victim. Ralph was in his mid-40s, married to a woman named Tracy. They lived in a quiet neighborhood in Colorado Springs, where everything seemed calm, like a town in a postcard. The kind of place where nothing terrible was supposed to happen. But Ralph had a secret, and Heather, with her unguarded heart, had just walked into it. The plan had been simple. She was to meet Ralph in the parking lot of a grocery store. He'd take her to his house. They'd spend time together, maybe talk. He said he had something important to show her, something that could help her start fresh. She agreed. What Heather didn't know was that Ralph was waiting for her in a white van, a van like any other, unremarkable, the kind you'd ignore, the kind you'd trust if you were young and just trying to escape a broken world. Ralph Church was a predator, but he didn't need a gun. He didn't need to yell. All he needed was to charm her, to pretend to listen. Heather stepped into that van, and the door closed behind her. The first thing he did was tie her up. She fought. She screamed. But he didn't care, he just drove. Kept driving through the night. For hours they crossed state lines. He told her they were going to a safe place. He said no one would find them, and the world felt smaller as Heather realized this was real. This was happening. They reached a house, isolated near Pueblo, Colorado. The windows were dark. The only sounds were the wind and the creaking of trees. Heather was placed in a small room, not a basement, just a clean, quiet space. It was neat, but the silence was suffocating. For days, Heather stayed there. She was fed sparsely and told she would have to stay for a while. She tried to escape, but Ralph was always ahead, always watching. Then after almost a week, Ralph decided it was time. He placed Heather into a large suitcase, a sturdy, black one, the kind you might take on vacation. He forced her into it, zipped it up, and left her there. She could feel the weight of her breath inside the suitcase, the fabric pressing against her chest. The darkness so thick, it pressed on her skin. She tried to scream. She tried to claw her way out. But the sound was swallowed, her body lost in the tight space. She was suffocating, and she knew she wouldn't make it much longer. But Ralph didn't care. 2 days later, Ralph returned. She was dead. He had killed her, left her in that suitcase. Her body was discovered weeks later, dumped along a highway in Rocky Ford, Colorado, just 50 miles from where he had kept her. At first, they didn't know her name. Her family had been looking for her. But the truth came out slowly. Ralph was arrested. But what happened to Heather didn't stop there. lungs feel the pressure inside that box. Not the physical pressure, but the emotional weight. The moment Heather understood that the world had forgotten her, that even the air could turn against you. How many times, I wonder, did she wonder if she could breathe again? If her body would break out, or if the darkness would swallow her whole? Now she's just a name, just a story in a file, a girl left behind in a suitcase, but the echoes are still there. Are you listening now? Is it getting hard to breathe? The night is thick with it, the empty places we never speak of, and the stories that linger long after we close our eyes. Try to sleep now, and if you wake, think about her. Think about the silence in the suitcase.